The old school RuneScape team did another bot busting livestream, and I figured it's worth going through the highlights and what we're seeing in game currently. And first, in terms of ways of banning bots, this has got to be the most entertaining. This is a whole separate world where bot accounts are forcibly placed by the anti-cheating team, and these JMods get to run around and start banning them, at which point their bank contents appear on screen. And as you can see, the world is packed. Okay, wait, actually freeze the frame right there. I'm sorry to interrupt myself. There's a hardcore Iron Man with 99 strength in this world doing the 99 strength emote. That's the first thing we see. That's insane. And then two bots right on top of each other run by that I've never seen before in wizard's robes, abyssal whips, and rune helms and kites. This is a gold mine for anyone interested in bot busting. One of three things happen when the bot gets put here. First, a real player is playing on the account when it gets moved into this world, which is pretty hilarious. A lot of times they'll start dancing and doing emotes. Luckily, probably for the better, chat is disabled, or I'm sure we'd see some either very funny or very unsavory conversations. The second thing that could have happened is that the bot was botting at the time it was moved, and the script doesn't fully break, so it continues to try to bot, which means you can travel to bot hotspots and find bots semi-broken there. A great way to uncover new bot hotspots. And third, the bot script just breaks and the bot is stuck in Lumbridge where it is spawned in on this world. So let's get started. The mods were smacking bots in Lumbridge already, but there's a new cool feature for these streams that shows the hotspot of activity on the world. For example, you can see at the Ferox Enclave there's a huge hotspot, but also the trail of blue leading northwest, probably to the Middle Rev Caves entrance. We know a lot of bots go there. But first we head to Edgeville, and of course there are some rune crafting bots. The first one is called Not My Jamflex. It looks like it's blood rune crafting with 7k bloods and 31 million GP of cash. And as you can see, some of these rune crafting bot scripts are still running, so the JMods hop over the wilderness ditch and catch them before they get to the Mage of Zamorak. A lower level one has 30k essence and 10 mil cash on it, and it's clearly crafting chaos runes. And it looks like the blood rune crafting bots hold a lot more wealth before muling than the other ones. This one, named Micro Venus, has 43 mil and 20k bloods. And the next one had 58 mil and 7k bloods. Now this is what I was talking about with the scripts breaking. It looks like a bunch of Revenant bots and Undead Pirate bot scripts broke once they teleported to the Grand Exchange. And we'll get into that right after this. Thanks to Factor for sponsoring today's video. I absolutely love Factor. If you don't already know, they provide affordable, chef-prepared meals on the table in 2 minutes with Factor's ready-to-eat meals, so you can do more of what you love this spring and summer. I've used Factor for a while now, and first and foremost, I love it because you don't have to spend time thinking about, planning, shopping for, or cooking meals. Factor just takes the stress completely out of it. You get chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals delivered right to your door. They have over 35 meals to choose from per week, including options like keto, calorie smart, veggie. My favorite is protein plus meals. Ultimately, Factor saves me money because my alternative is often ordering from one of the food apps like Uber Eats, which is getting insanely expensive right now. So Factor is the cheaper, healthier, and tastier option delivered right to your door. They're ready to heat and eat in just 2 minutes, which means more time for you. So get 50% off your first Factor box and 20% off your next month's orders using my link in the description. So click the link in the description or scan the QR code with your phone to check it out. We're back at the Grand Exchange with a bunch of these broken Revenant and Undead Pirate bots, and you can see them in full force at the tele spot here. There are so many crossbows. I've seen these bots, especially at the Undead Pirates recently, and in-game their behavior is to teleport to the Grand Exchange and often hop worlds. Since they can't hop off of this world, I'm guessing the script broke here while it's trying to hop worlds. And each of these bots has like 80 mil cash on it or more. I think when the JMods do the kill all command, only one of the bots' loot appears, even though it kills all of them. And now we're over at God Wars, and you can clearly see a group of bots all using the corrupt bow of Faradin, moving on top of each other because they're using the same script, I think. First kill had ancestral robes and 16 mil, and the rest of them had a lot less, but they're all using cannons, which is good to know. Makes it easier to identify them in game. But recently, God Wars has been overrun by these bots, and they're pretty advanced. They can solo most of the God Wars bosses without taking damage. Now over at the Alcarad Gate, you can see dozens of bots trying to get through. Most have nothing on them. When the JMods kill them, you can see their bank is empty. They're probably tanning bots or fresh suicide bots. It's hard to identify them if they have nothing in their banks, but a couple of them did have a lot of stuff. One had about 12,000 red chinchampas and a bunch of resources. And this map hotspot feature is coming in clutch. The mods found a hotspot of bots at the fruit stalls in Hosidius on Zaya, and I didn't know these bots exist. They all have variations of the same gear: rune helm, rune kite, monk robes, some dragon. Most are wielding elemental staves, one has a whip. I doubt thieving is their end goal. It would be really cool to figure out what they're ultimately up to, but it's rare to see a bot farm like this that I've never seen before in game, and they're wearing such distinct outfits. I guess these outfits, if they're not all in the same world, kind of blend in. Interestingly, they all have almost the exact same stuff in their bank. 20-ish mil cash, and a lot of cannonballs, like 5 to 8,000. A lot of them also had lots of resources like raw lobster and cooked lobster, so I'm guessing they're training different stats: thieving here, cooking using lobsters. And when the Jmods do the kill all, it looks like there was 200 mil GP on them. And again, they kill a few more, and it's that consistent loot: 20 mil cash, 5 to 8k cannonballs. But no way are these bots smelting cannonballs. I don't think so, at least. They're combat level 80s, and given the gear and that they're doing other activities, maybe they're training Slayer? I have no idea. Let me know what you think in the comments if you know. Now, I knew there were bots on the island entrance to the underwater area next to Fossil Island, but they're hard to find and I can't really break them in game. It's just such a perfect spot since it's really out of the way and has a bank. The accounts here don't look like they're in a specific farm. Lots of different combat levels, lots of different gear, but most had decent banks. One had 500,000 Zulrah scales and over 100k blood runes. Now over at Wintertot, it looks like some Zulrah bots bank here now. No crazy loot from them, but good to know. Even just watching these streams, you learn a lot about bots in game, and it makes it easier to catch them later on. The next step would be for Jagex to give us access to this world. That would be really cool. Even just as a spectator, it would be so entertaining to see bots come in and have their scripts break. Over at the Falador Garden teleport spot, it looks like this is where low-level Revenant bots go to bank. These usually kill the imps and goblins with magic short bows, and it's pretty clear given the loot that they were doing this. One actually had 16 million GP of cash as well. I think we all already know, but the Ferox Enclave is maybe the busiest area in the game for bots, maybe other than the Grand Exchange. There are absolute hordes of them running through with their scripts not fully broken in this shadow world. Mostly Zulrah and Revenant bots here, with a heavy emphasis on Revenant bots still to this day. At one point, the Jmods waited and tried to zap all the Revenant bots running by with crossbows one at a time, and they weren't done after like 5 minutes straight. There must have been hundreds in this world. Unfortunately, none of these bots have that much in their banks. I think the bot owners for these run such large farms, they're able to optimize to mule off very rapidly and minimize losses when they get banned, because they do get banned frequently. At least I hope. Man, there are still a lot of Revenant bots in the game. Let's run through some of the more notable one-off busts, starting with the mining bot that had over 6,000 runite ore. That's over 60 mil in runite ore alone. Now a random thieving bot at the GE gets whacked for 100 mil cash and 25k nature and death runes. Next, a random high level running by in Lumbridge gets rubber chickened and has a dragon warhammer, gilded axe, and full bandos. And during a mass bust in Lumbridge, Sleepo Virus is taken out for a rapier, 75 mil cash, and a lot of herbs. And this one is definitely the biggest of the stream. A level 126 with an infernal cape and blood torva and a scythe. This has got to be a hacked account. And it has 10 billion GP worth of platinum tokens, almost 50,000 dragon arrows, 250,000 cannonballs, and various runes. I say likely a hacked account also because it had the League's death animation, along with just so much progress for it to be a bot. Maybe it was hacked and turned into a mule. I know that botters sometimes do that since this account is not usually suspected of being a bot. The alternative is not great. Like if someone was able to bot that account all the way up to where it is, the untradables and like 15 bill worth of gear and loot, probably hacked. And of course, we get to see all the loot taken out of the game from the bots at the end. Almost 100 billion GP stack of platinum tokens, a twisted bow, 800k flax, 2 infernal capes, an Elysian spirit shield, 750k Zulrah scales, and it looks like the other Jmods bank has 15 bill in platinum tokens and way more resources, almost 1 million death and nature runes and a whole bunch of other stuff. So, If a JMod is watching this, please let us into this world. Obviously, me selfishly, I want to be let in so I can make content, but I want all of you to as well. It would be so much fun. Let me know in the comments if you like these recaps, and if the JMods do another stream, I'll do another one.
What are you putting for?
He's prepping. You think they can take it?
What are you putting for?